As the number of confirmed flu cases in San Diego raises concern, the nurse practitioners at CVS Minute Clinic say another infection with similar symptoms is making the rounds. Here's this week's What's Going Around.
In North San Diego, Trina Acosta-Teson in Escondido has diagnosed a number of patients with strep. This is a bacterial infection common in young patients, especially those living in close confines like college dorms. The trend continues in central San Diego. Lori Glicklich in Mission Valley says the infection is easily spread through coughing, sneezing, sharing drinks, and kissing. Symptoms include a sudden fever, nausea, swollen lymph nodes, a red sore throat, sometimes with white patches, and a headache. Because strep is a bacterial infection, it can be treated with antibiotics. In East San Diego, a reminder about this year's flu vaccine. Amy Polizzi in Santee says there have already been 2 deaths in the county from the flu this season. It's recommended everyone 6 months of age and older get the shot, especially those with weakened immune systems and the elderly. And a few key things to remember. Flu shots take 2 weeks to reach full effectiveness. You cannot get the flu from the vaccine, and getting vaccinated also decreases the spread of the virus. And in South San Diego, a viral infection targeting very young patients. Kasia Lalakata in Chula Vista has been seeing children with CROUP. This is an infection of the upper airways caused by the same viruses that cause the common cold. Symptoms include a barking cough, fever, hoarseness, and labored breathing. Treatment includes moist air from a humidifier or a steam-filled bathroom. Severe symptoms may require steroid medications. And that does it for this week's What's Going Around.